Hi, how are you? Today our topic is about mouse. Mouse has become a major component of the majority of the desktop computer system terms sold today, and the little box with the tail connecting it to the machine in our basic computer system picture. It is a small flame-sized box housing a inside the house. This rotation is detected by a small roll that are in contact with the ball, and these adjustment the values of the partner. If you remove the ball of the clear dust, you may be able to see these rolls. The changing values of the approximately can be directly related to the change in the position of the both horizontal and vertical motion. The relative motion information is passed to the computer via a wire attached to the box, or in some cases using wireless is infrared and move a pointer on the screen called the cursor. The whole arrangement trends to look rotating like with the box acting as the body and the wire and the consequently similarly function to the multi buttons mice achieved by the institution different operation by a single and the double button. A double click when the button is pressed twice in rapidly succession multiplication and the button raises above the operation of the each particular relation. Optical mice. Optical mice work differently from the mechanical mice. A light emitting dosed imitation a weak red light from the base of the mouse. This is reflected off a special pad with a metallic grid-like pad term upon which the mouse has to sit, and the influation is reflected intensely and the mouse is moved over the grid line and recorded by the sense in the base of the mouse and translated into relative XY motion. Some optical mouses do not require special mats, just to approximate the surface and use the natural texture the surface or to detect movement. The optical mouse is the less dust and dirt. The mechanical one of the mechanical is less likely being blocked up. However, to those that rely on a special mat, if the mat is not properly aligned, movement of the mouse may become apparently especially difficult if you are working with some and pass the mouse back and the forth between you. Although most mic are hand operated, not all are. There have been experiments with a device called the foot mouse, as the name implies. The cursor is moved by the keyboard. Rare devices, the foot work can be also used in these rare devices, and the have found commonly expected interesting foot pedals are used heavily in mouse in musical instruments. Two things seems to have limited their use in computer equipment on the particular of having foot control in the work environment. Pedals under a desk may be operated accidentally. Laptop with the pedals in physically interfaces are used properly control one of the more single dimensional along controls. It may be that is more specialized interfaces approximately foot operator controls could be more commonly and effectively used. Touchpad. Touchpads are touch sensitive tables, usually around 2-3 inches, 55 to 75 mm square. They have used executively in Apple PowerBook obtained separately to replace the mouse on the desktop. They are operated by stronging a finger over their surface rather like using a stimulated trackball. The feel is very different from other input devices, but a very all devices user quick get used to the action and become proficient able because they are small. It may require several strokes to move the cursor across the screen. This may be improved by using acceleration setting in the software linking the trackpad movement of the screen movement rather than having a fixed ratio of the pad distance to screen distance. This varies with the speed of the movement. If the finger moves slowly over the pad, then the pad movement maps to small distance screen. If the finger is moving quickly, the same distance of the touchpad section is very slow movement of the finger from the side of the trackpad to the movement. In fact, in the form of the acceleration setting is also used in the other interaction formulations. In the field of the devices, in the fact in this form acceleration setting is also moving slowly over the pad, then the pad movement to the small distanciation screen. If the finger is moved quickly the same distance the touchpad cursor a long distance. For example, on the trackpad being used when written section move the cursor less than 10% of the width of the screen. However, if the moved rapidly from the side to side, width of the devices including the mouse, fine setting of these sort of the parameters makes a great difference to the feel of the device. Now our topic is going to be closed. We will meet in next video. Allah Hafiz.